The sound of her laughter sliced through the music before I even saw her. It wasn't the polite, reserved laugh she used at work events or with my parents. It was different. Looser. Bolder. Like the version of her I hadn't seen in years. When I turned toward the patio lights, I saw her, my wife Leah, tilting her head back, smiling at Ryan, my old college friend, while his hand lingered a little too close to her waist. The music thumped, the air thick with perfume and cigarette smoke, and for a moment I couldn't breathe. My beer slipped from my hand, shattering against the concrete. Conversation stilled, heads turned, and I tried to laugh it off, but my heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my teeth. Leah glanced at me, startled, guilty, or maybe just caught. She smiled like nothing was wrong and mouthed, "You okay?" I nodded, forcing a grin, pretending I hadn't just seen the flicker of something dangerous between her and Ryan. I told myself it was nothing. Just harmless flirting. People do that at parties all the time. She loved me. We were solid. Weren't we? But as the night unfolded, I noticed more. The way her hand brushed his arm when she leaned in to hear him. How his joke seemed aimed only at her. My friends watched me, uncertain, whispering among themselves. I drowned my unease in another drink, then another. By midnight, the laughter had thinned into murmurs. Leah was outside, wrapped in a shawl, cigarette between her fingers, talking quietly with Ryan. Too quietly. Too close. Her voice carried in soft waves, and I caught fragments. His name, her giggle, a low "don't say that." My pulse thundered. Every instinct screamed to walk away. Instead, I stepped closer, careful, slow. "Hey," I said. My voice was calm, too calm. "Mind if I steal my wife for a minute?" Ryan smiled like a man who thought he'd won something. "Of course, man. She's all yours." She avoided my eyes. "You're drunk," she murmured when he walked away. "Not as drunk as you think," I said. "You having fun?" She hesitated. "It's just a party, Chris. Don't start." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to trust that this was harmless. But her tone, it wasn't offensive. It was distant, tired, like she'd been somewhere else for a while and just hadn't told me yet. When we got home, she went straight to bed. No goodnight kiss. No warmth. Just silence. I sat in the dark living room, staring at the empty wine glasses from the night before, the faint scent of her perfume still in the air. That's when I checked her phone. I wish I could say I hesitated longer. But the truth is, my fingers moved before my conscience could stop them. There it was. A message thread with Ryan. Nothing overtly sexual. But the tone playful, teasing, intimate. Inside jokes. Compliments about how she looked incredible last time. And then one message from her. "Let's not make this weird." My chest ached. Not from rage. From something deeper. The quiet devastation of realizing someone you love might have already emotionally left you. When she woke the next morning, I confronted her. Not shouting, just asking. She froze, eyes wide, and then softened. "It was innocent, Chris. He's just a friend." "You're overreacting." "Am I?" I asked, voice trembling. "Because I saw the way you looked at him. Like you used to look at me." Her expression faltered just for a second. Enough to tell me everything. I walked out. Not because I wanted to end it, but because staying felt like betrayal too. Over the next few days, the silence between us became unbearable. She texted, called, cried. I ignored her. Then one evening she came home from work and found me packing a small bag. "Please don't do this," she whispered. "I'm not leaving," I said. "I just need space." She nodded, tears welling. "It wasn't what you think. I was lonely. You've been somewhere else lately." And when he noticed me, I felt seen. I finished for her. "I get it." The hardest part was realizing she wasn't lying. That's what made it hurt more. We talked for hours about us, about how we'd stopped touching, how routine had replaced affection. And for the first time, I saw her not as the villain in my heartbreak, but as a person who'd been starving for something we'd both forgotten to feed. When she reached for my hand, I didn't pull away. But I didn't hold it either. The next weekend, Ryan called me. Said he wanted to talk. My first instinct was to hang up. But curiosity won. We met at a bar, neutral ground. He looked uneasy, remorseful even. "I shouldn't have crossed a line," he admitted. "Nothing happened, I swear. But I liked the attention. And she seemed like she needed someone to tell her she mattered. His words hit me harder than I expected. Not because of the betrayal, but because of the truth in them. I didn't punch him. Didn't yell. I just stared at him and said, "You're right. But you picked the wrong someone." That night I came home and found Leah sitting on the couch, holding the photo album from our honeymoon. She looked up, tears streaking her face. "I miss us," she said. I sat beside her, the air heavy with things that couldn't be undone. "So do I. We didn't promise to fix everything. We didn't make vows we couldn't keep. We just sat there, two people who had broken something fragile and were learning what it meant to live with the cracks." Weeks later, we went to another gathering. Smaller this time. When someone flirted with her, she smiled politely, then reached for my hand. It wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't a fairy tale. But it was something real. A quiet understanding that betrayal doesn't always end a marriage. Sometimes it exposes what was already dying and dares you to rebuild from the ashes. And as I looked at her, fingers trembling in mine, I realized she wasn't the only one who'd been lonely. We both were. We just showed it differently. In that moment, I didn't see the woman who flirted at a party. I saw the woman who was still trying to choose me, one fragile, imperfect day at a time.